Is Edgar Jalad, who's the TV editor of BBC Arabic. I guess we knew this day was coming. Did you imagine it would transpire the way it has?
Well, actually, on Monday we received information saying that this operation has been cancelled. We were surprised this morning to see it happening, and it seems it was.
But specifically, they didn't say this operation. They said an operation, because of course they were trying to at least do it peacefully, try and encourage people to leave.
Yeah, they were trying to mislead people and tell them that, okay, nothing is going to happen, because every day they used to say that tonight it's going to happen, and it didn't happen because people started pouring in these two camps, and this will raise the number of casualties, and they didn't want to take that risk at that time. But it seems that after the failure of all the negotiations and all the mediation, the government has no other choice, in their opinion, but to storm these two camps.
A very confused situation. To the best of your knowledge, you've got a lot of correspondents there on the ground, and you're gathering information from the other Arabic press. What do you think we're looking at?
Well, it seems that the government is now still not controlling Rabaa al-Adawiyya, and this is very important, because it seems that they cleared the first camp, which is the Maidan al-Nahda. The second one, which is the most important one,
and the biggest one,
the biggest one, exactly, it's still not under the control. And the pictures that we've been showing now show that there are clashes in the neighborhood of Rabaa al-Adawiyya, and it seems that the Muslim Brotherhood are calling their sympathizers and their supporters to demonstrate again and try to penetrate Rabaa al-Adawiyya, that is now locked and sealed by the government. So. But the problem that the government is facing, that they can't keep up with the same situation for long. So they have to clear the two camps in a very quick way and before sunset, because if during the night, and especially with these information that we are getting from different areas in Egypt, that attacks against churches and attacks against governorates, so the Muslim Brotherhood are following the tactic that everybody was concerned about they might do it, is attacking in different areas and dispersing now the government forces, because they can't control or provide security to every single village or to every single church or to every single Christian in the country. And so they are now like threatening of turning the situation to a civil war.
Okay, Edgar Jalad, stay with us, because we're going to get an update from one of your correspondents on the ground, I believe.
Yes, let's talk to Khaled Ez Al Arab, who is from BBC Arabic as well and joins me from Cairo. Just explain for us where exactly you are and what you have been witnessing today.
Well, I'm very close to the center of the sit-in by the protesters supporting Mohammed Morsi, the Rabaa al-Adawiyya Mosque. I just left the area a few minutes ago, trying to scout the area around us, and surprisingly, a lot of the streets surrounding Rabaa al-Adawiyya, which in the morning were under the control of the police and the military, are now, some parts of them are now back under the protesters' control. So clashes are going on between police and military forces surrounding the center of the sit-in, but also between these forces and other protesters who've come from different areas of Cairo in an attempt to relieve their comrades.
It's quite a poor quality line, but we will try to just talk to you just a little further if we can. Just in terms of the death toll, the injuries, there is, as you know, this enormous disparity between what the Muslim Brotherhood believes is the death toll and what the authorities are saying. What have you and your colleagues experienced that might help us in that regard?
Yes, well, it was very difficult in the morning to get a good estimate about what the actual figures are. But in the past hour, I've been able to get into the center of the sit-in, and there are several field hospitals. And I've visited two of them and counted at least 50 dead bodies there. And I was told that there are two other field hospitals where there are more dead being kept, but there was live ammunition preventing us from getting into these field hospitals. So at least 50 dead, and the injured are just too many to count.
All right, thank you very much indeed for that update. That's the BBC's Khaled Ezzal Arab. And just to reiterate, as he was explaining, at least 50 bodies seen in the one field hospital that they were able to get to, but the point being that they were told that there are at least 2 other field hospitals and more bodies are being stored in those hospitals. They simply couldn't, it wasn't safe to get to them, but from his perspective, a bare minimum of 50 people confirmed as dead.
Yes, and of course, various figures being quoted by many other people. The UN has certainly talked about, it appears that hundreds are being killed. Eghad Jalad, who's the TV editor of BBC Arabic, still with us. What's at stake here?
Well, now, what I've heard now from Khaled Ezzal Arab is changing the whole picture, because what Khaled is saying, that the government forces, they have withdrawn from the areas that they've been occupying this morning. So this is not a good sign for the government. That means they are taking backward positions. And we are going back to the old theory of sealing Rabia al-Adawiyya and trying to keep them inside. But with this high death toll that we've got, even the lowest one, I don't think that the government is in a good situation now and to face the international community. And still, I think that they gave the government some time to finish what they have started, and they said that it could be no major casualties. They gave them sometimes, and then later on during this day, they started releasing criticism against the government. It was Erdogan, it was Qatar, and different countries, and we are still waiting to hear from the United States as well. All this will put extreme pressure on the government. So if they didn't clear Rabia al-Adawiyya, plus this high death toll and international criticism coming from the international community, this will be a very difficult time for the actual government.
Let's bring you some breaking news. The Egyptian presidency has just announced a state of emergency across the whole country, starting at 4 p.m. local time, which is 2 o'clock here. Were you expecting that?
Yeah, this was expected because they have no other solution. If they keep people in the streets now, soon it will be night time in Cairo. And with this situation and weapons in the streets and live ammunitions used, so it increased the danger of seeing more civilians hit, or the government forces, they have to deal with different small groups in different outskirts of Cairo. So this is normal, and we've heard about it.
Okay, Eghad Jalad from BBC.